All right, and you are?
I'm Noah Kravitz from Phonedog.com.
All right, hey Noah, you've been in the pre-lounge here the last couple of days.
Yeah.
What have you seen in regards to the pre, or any new news, or any news around it?
So I had first seen the pre at Mobile World Congress. I wasn't at CES. I didn't see it hands-on then or in person then. Saw it at NWC. So here I saw some of the same kind of general stuff, but then demos of the new apps, so Pandora, Fandango, Sprint TV, the NASCAR thing. So those things were definitely new, and then just kind of general, like just more, kind of seeing the OS and the general device in action.
Yeah, any of those stick out to you as far as things you think will catch people's eye, or the
Yeah.
expected apps? Or
Yeah, I mean, Pandora is, it's actually funny because I'm a big music guy, but I personally don't use Pandora that much just because of my own tastes, and
Right.
I have a huge collection on my computer, et cetera, et cetera. But I know a lot of people who love Pandora, and it's a great app.
Yeah.
And so that was cool to see it. That'll catch people's attention, I think. And the implementation of it looked pretty nice. So
Cool.
yeah.
There was a release last night about a product called, or an app called Emulator. I know you just heard a little bit about that, but what have you heard? Can you tell our employees what you've heard about that?
Yeah, so I was working really hard last night because I'm a journalist covering the show. So I saw the press release, and I talked to a couple of my peers about it, but didn't really have time to actually look into it myself. But basically, what I heard is that it's an emulator that's going to run kind of legacy Palm OS apps on the pre. Is the gist of it that I got. So.
No, on your site, from people that just come across, and people you meet in person who have seen the stuff you do, what kind of buzz are you hearing about pre, just in general?
So, in general, people are curious about it, excited about it, or people who come across the site, readers, keep asking me, and especially during a show week,
Right.
you got anything new about it? Did you get to play with it? Any information? So people are excited about it. People who aren't necessarily hardcore phone people, but friends and family, or whoever, the dentist finds out I'm a cell phone guy, and just go, oh, what phone should I get? When I mention it to them, people like, oh yeah, I heard something about Palm making a comeback, or that kind of thing. So there's definitely buzz about it. And then kind of within the sort of blogger or journalist community, there's buzz, but it's a different sort of more critical kind of like, well, when's it going to come out? What's the pricing going to be? How are they going to handle the launch? All that kind of stuff.
Are there certain things that people are looking to see from it that you haven't seen yet, either you've heard or that you've heard from your peers?
Yeah, people want to know when it's going to, you've heard this a million times, people want to know when it's going to launch, how
Right.
much it's going to cost,
Right.
and people want to actually play with it.
Right.
Because, I understand and respect what I've been told about why, I can poke it while the demo person's holding it.
Right.
But, it's such a cell phone's such a personal kind of thing that actually, and there's some unique stuff about the actual physical design of it. And then obviously it's so experience oriented and everything with, the gestures and all that kind of stuff, that without, it's kind of this dual-edged sword where all the buzz has made it like, man, I can't wait to get that thing in my hands. And then on the other hand, it's kind of like, okay, it's been 3 shows now, when can we actually get it in our hands and check it out? So,
Right.
And then with the emulator thing, there's kind of I don't want to say small, but a sort of a niche, hardcore Palm OS loyalist following who want to, have been wanting to know, well, what's the deal with all my old Palm apps and everything? So I think that's great news for them.
Right.
App stores are kind of trendy right now, so obviously people have been asking about that, and then kind of curious about how's the whole WebOS going to work in terms of if I want to develop, an app that needs to access the hardware layer of the phone, that kind of thing. So,
Cool. Thanks very much, Noah. I appreciate your time.
my pleasure.